Dantrometer, everyone.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Oh! Thank you. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, I'm Dantrometer. I am here to help challenge your assumptions so that you can open your minds to new possibilities. We're going to do a little bit of magic. We're going to do some optical illusions. We're going to interact a little bit. If nothing else, this is going to be an awful lot of fun. But my goal is to challenge your assumptions and shift you into a more open-minded way of thinking, in fact, into a growth mindset. And when I say growth mindset, I'm referring to the work of Dr. Carol Dweck at Stanford. Her extensive research has led to two different approaches to learning, two different ways that people can think about learning. I'm not going to dive into all the details of her work. You can do that by reading her book, which is fantastic. But in brief, the basic idea is that at any given moment, any given person can approach learning from two different perspectives. One, a fixed mindset, and one, a growth mindset. A person in a fixed mindset believes that talent, ability, and intelligence are all fixed. You're born with this amount of talent, that's all you got. And for a long time, that's what science believed as well. And then, on the other hand, the growth mindset says that ability, talent, intelligence can all be built. And it can all be built and increased through conscious effort. So if we've got the fixed mindset that says what you got is what you got and that's all you get, and you got the growth mindset that says you can build your intelligence, then who's right? Well, in a sense, they're both right. Because mindset is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that you can't learn anymore, you're not even going to try. But if you believe that you can, even if there's a glimmer of a chance that you can increase your ability in something, then you're going to put into the effort to actually make that happen. And so since mindset is a self-fulfilling prophecy, innovation and synergy require a growth mindset. Because if you don't believe that you can innovate, good luck, right? So if mindset is a belief, and beliefs are full of assumptions, then it's really my job to challenge your assumptions with this. So I'm going to show you something that you not only assume is impossible, you know it's impossible. It involves that little red box and a $100 bill. I brought the box. Who's got a bill I can borrow? Doesn't have to be 100, it could be a 50 or 20 or a 10, but this is hilarious with 100. What do we got? Got one? Yeah, oh, there's 100 already out? Fantastic. I'm Dan, you are? Candace. Hang on. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but Candace, could you just bring it over here for me? I could tell. I love it. Candace, I'm going to give you this marker. It's already opened and loaded. Be careful. Right across the face there, sign your name really large so they can see it in the back. Wow, I love how you didn't even hesitate. It's only a minor felony. Minor felonies are, and then just have a seat right there. We'll get back to you. Minor felonies, those are like being kind of pregnant. Candace's name on here identifies it, so we know it is indeed her bill. So at the end of this whole thing, you don't think it's a bogus duplicate. Now, a lot of magicians, they don't tell you what to expect. I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect. I'm going to fold this bill into a nice, neat little bundle. I'm going to put it inside of my empty left hand. I'll then wave my empty right hand over top of it. Your bill will disappear, fly invisibly across space, and land in the little red box. You all know that can't be done. Watch. The bill. The wave. The disappearance. The complete lack of reaction. Right? I know. It's because you expect more. Candace, come on up, watch your step. I won't even go near the box. Go ahead and move yourself right over behind it. Open the box. Pull out what you find inside. Yeah, it's a little bag, and go ahead and open up the bag. Yeah. Yeah, what's that?
A lime.
A lime, yes, more specifically, that is a $100 lime. Come right over here. Good. This is important. Inspect that lime. Make sure there's no holes, no cuts, no secret points of entry. It is indeed an unadulterated piece of citrus, yes?
Correct. Yeah.
Fantastic, I'll take that. Let's cut this baby open, shall we? Do you have a knife?
No.
No, I have one. I actually got it about 1.5 years ago after a failed mugging attempt. I got to tell you, my attempts are far more successful now I have the knife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Good. Candace, there's not a $100 bill stuck to that knife, is there?
No.
No, good. I'm going to cut the lime in half, but not straight in half. I'm going to circumnavigate the equator of this little citrus planet.
Okay.
It's a nautical term.
Yeah, I believe you.
So as not to harm anything that might be hiding at the core. Grab the top, twist, and lift. There's something in there. I'll take that.
Okay.
Grab it. It's brown.
Juicy.
It's plastic. It's 100, but it can't be the same 100, right? That's not possible. And yet, she shows you her signature, and that is possible.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Got a little nappy here for you.
Thank you.
Help
Yeah.
yourself. Watch your step. Ha! So, I'm going to follow Lauren's lead here. What you have just seen is impossible. Can't be done. And it happened right in front of you. I think that's awesome. I think that's a lovely reminder that, like mindset, possibility is an attitude. It's a belief. If you believe something is impossible, you're not even going to try. But if you think, even if there's a glimmer of a chance that something's possible, then you're going to put in that effort. That's the growth mindset at work. That's what magicians do, right? We look at the world, we look at all those things that everybody knows can't be done, and we figure out how to do it. The job of a magician is to innovate. And I think that's the same line of work that you're all in. Think about all those projects that you've had, all those deadlines that were too short, all those budgets that were too small, and the people around you go, good luck, that's impossible. And yet you did it. So you're all magicians too. I believe it. I also believe you probably can't hear me, because chances are you're stuck on this, right? How did he do that? Right? That's the human mind at work. You see something you don't understand, immediately you jump into problem-solving mode. So until we address this question, all you hear from me is wah, 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 wah. So let's dig in a little bit. In your mind, come up with a theory. How could I have done that? How could I take Candace's signed $100 bill, make it disappear, and show up inside of that line? Once you have that theory, rate your confidence. 10 being yes, I'm absolutely sure. 1, not so much. Who's got a theory? Call it out. How'd I do it?
Your ring finger.
My ring finger.
That one has a blade on it. It's circumnavigated.
Interesting. Okay. So, I like it. I like it. So for the folks who couldn't hear that, my ring has a hidden blade on it. And it popped out, and then as I was circumnavigating, somehow I secreted the blade. I kind of stuck the Oh, the bill was in the ring. Yep, and okay, excellent theory. On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you? 8 out of 10. Love it. Good. Another theory.
I'd say sleight of hand, you have another line in your left jacket pocket. I believe there's a little switch, and when you're talking and instructing, there's a slice in that one, and you're able to use the bill.
Interesting. So what I get from that is a 2-lime theory. I've got 2 different limes, yes? Good. And somehow I switched those lines. That's a lovely theory that may be shared. On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident? 10 out of 10. Love it. That's good. That's good. Now, I know there's lots more theories in the room. We could spend the rest of the evening on that. Let's not. Let me tell you the story of how it came to be that I asked this question. This is not a normal question for a magician to ask, right? Normally it's, here's a trick, and now let's move on before you have too much time to think about it. So already by asking this question, we're starting to think a little bit differently. So here's the story of how it comes to be that I ask this question. I was doing a half-day workshop for an executive leadership team, and started the morning with this trick, just to make that point that I made about impossibility being a self-fulfilling prophecy and a belief, and then I moved on through the morning. At lunch, it became very clear to me that I was the only one who had moved on. Because the president of this company came up and he said, "Dan, that lime trick is good. I know how you did it." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, of course." I said, "Okay, how'd I do it?" He said, "Oh, well, it was obvious. And then he told me his theory. It was a good theory. And I told him, "That's a good theory. Are you sure?" He looked at me and he said, "Well, of course I'm sure. It's the only physical explanation for how you could have done that." What I told him and what I want to tell all of you is that in the last 15 years of doing this trick, I've used at least 10 different methods, at least 10 completely different physical procedures to achieve the exact same end result. And when I told him that, he looked like I punched him in the face. It was like his mind exploded at the idea that there could have been more than one right answer. And he thought about it. And he said, "If that's true, and I believe you that it's true, you got 10 different ways you could have done it, but I was convinced I had the only right answer, well, then that means that I need to go back to the office. And I need to look at all the things that we as an organization think we have the only right answer for. And we need to question that." And in that moment, he made that light bulb moment of realizing that by blindly following yesterday's right answer for today's problems, or extending that out into this unknown future, it opened up himself and the lives of everybody who worked for him, and his entire organization, opened them up to a lot of risk. He had an unconscious assumption. He assumed not only did he have the right answer, he had the only right answer. Good. So, I firmly believe that the greatest factor for our success, however you define success, is our worldview. We each have our own unique and individual worldview, the lens through which we see the world. My challenge to you is to deconstruct it. Take a good, hard look at the assumptions you're making. Examine your philosophies. Break them apart. Take a good, hard look at your paradigms. I'd even say take a good, hard look and break down your deeply held beliefs. And then take a look at all that, all the elements of your worldview, and try to take a look at it through the growth mindset. Identify which of your assumptions are serving you and which ones are holding you back. Get rid of the ones that don't serve you. Strengthen the ones that do. And then you can take all those little bits of your worldview and hang them back onto that element, come on, of the growth mindset. And then you can start to rebuild. Until your worldview becomes stronger, whole again, and better than ever. I'm Dan Trometer. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow.